My name's Dwayne, creator of blackmentorship.org, and this is me. I was born and raised here. I went to college here. I work and live here. I'm an entrepreneur and I believe in black entrepreneurship. I invest in these. I run a custom suit company. I do marketing and advertising. And I've been around the world to at least 12 different countries. I'm a proud card-carrying 80s baby who, more importantly, is an ordinary guy with an ordinary life who secretly wants to be a superhero. But I found out that being a superhero is unrealistic, so I just settled. I settled on being John Wayne. The reason I like John Wayne is because he comes to a town that has many problems and he solves them. So basically, he's a problem solver. And I too want to be a problem solver. There are more black men in the prison system than were enslaved in 1850. That's a problem. Fewer than half of black students enrolled in a four-year college will graduate within 6 years. That's a problem. Black professionals that don't receive mentoring make $22,000 less per year than those that receive mentoring. That's a problem. So what is the solution? Mentorship. Mentorship is defined as a personal developmental relationship in which a more experienced and knowledgeable person helps a less experienced and knowledgeable person. This is the traditional black mentorship model. Basically, someone that wanted to be mentored will find someone near them that's doing or has done what they want to do, and they'll receive guidance and support. The mentor will usually call and check up on them and maybe take them out to dinner every now and then. Here are 3 problems with the traditional black mentorship model. When you get successful, it's hard. To maintain success is harder. Most successful black people don't have time to take on any extra responsibilities. This limits the number of people that they can actually mentor. Many people in black communities have never done the jobs their children will be competing for in the future. You can't mentor someone if you haven't done something yourself. Young people who aspire for something different don't end up with mentors usually. Many professional blacks find themselves to be the only black person in the room on many days. This leaves them with no one that resembles them to act as a mentor. Here's a look at the traditional black mentorship model again. This is the blackmentorship.org model. Here are 3 ways blackmentorship.org will improve the black mentorship experience. There is a misconception that you must be at the top of your game to be a mentor. This is absolutely wrong. Any positive black person can and should be a mentor. Chris wants to be a pastor. He doesn't have to get direct mentoring from the pastor to become a pastor. To be a pastor, he must be a good assistant pastor. To be an assistant pastor, he must be a good minister. To be a minister, he must be a good youth ministry leader. To be a youth ministry leader, he must be a good prayer group leader. So there are certain steps that Chris must take to become a pastor. So anyone along that path can actually help Chris reach his goal. The use of the internet will help people connect that will normally not have access to each other. For example, a young man in Liberty City, Miami wants to be a marine biologist. No one in his community or his family has ever completed college or has ever done anything close to being a marine biologist. With blackmentorship.org, he'll be able to find someone in San Diego that's a marine biologist. We found through our focus groups that the most effective mentoring is situational based. It's not when someone's assigned to you or you have a mentor for a certain amount of time. People, especially adults, don't want people holding their hands for a set amount of time. They want to achieve their goal or make their transition and part ways. So with blackmentorship.com, people can seek mentoring on certain goals and get the result and move on with their lives. This is more effective for the protege and also the mentor. It saves both time. If our most successful people have more time, they'll be able to help more people. Here are some examples of blackmentorship.org in action. Meet Felicia and her grandmother Helen. Helen is raising Felicia in Los Angeles. Felicia loves computers and wants to be in IT management when she grows up. She also wants to pledge Delta when she goes to college. Helen is a retired school teacher and doesn't know anyone in the IT field. Helen goes to blackmentorship.org and finds Lenora. Lenora is a chief information officer out of Chicago. Lenora tells Felicia about her job and says she recommends that she gets business training first. She also says that Spelman has a very good business program. Helen then finds Jasmine. Jasmine is a college student that is also a Delta, and she goes to Spelman. Jasmine tells her about different scholarships and also puts her in contact with the Junior Delta Association in LA. Meet LaRon and his mother Terry. Terry is raising her son LaRon as a single parent in Detroit. Her son LaRon wants to design advertisements and one day go to Yale. Terry has worked in government for the last 17 years and doesn't know anyone in the ad business. So Terry goes to blackmentorship.org and she finds Curtis. Curtis is a brand manager out of Toronto. He tells them that the industry is going mostly IT, so he needs to get a degree with IT. Terry then finds Derek. Derek is a senior at Yale who is majoring in information systems. Derek tells him what he needs to focus on in school and also the process of getting accepted into Yale. Derek will be graduating from Yale this year. He is unsure about the job market and doesn't know what fields are best to apply for with his degree. He also has to get a high-paying job to take care of his student loans. So Derek goes to blackmentorship.org and he finds Lenora. Lenora has an information systems degree and she's worked in the field for 15 years. She tells him to focus on the Northern Virginia area because the salaries are higher than most areas. She also introduces him to some colleagues in that area. Meet Richard. Richard is a healthcare tech CEO in Atlanta that has worked in the healthcare field for over 25 years. He is the CEO of his own company, but is looking to transition to his own consulting business. He is also looking to expand his current company's social media program and has no idea how to do it. He goes to blackmentorship.org and he finds Cheryl. Cheryl is a retired hospital CEO who now runs a healthcare tech consulting firm. She advises him on the challenges of entrepreneurship and how it is important to develop contacts now while you're working. They stay in touch with each other. Richard also finds Curtis. Curtis advises Richard that he needs to outsource his social media management to a great firm out of Washington State. This will save him his company money and also solve his company's problem. Meet Lenora. Lenora is a chief information officer for a manufacturing company. Although she is very good with technology, she always wanted to go into advertising. She is thinking about switching to the advertising field. She also recently was diagnosed with breast cancer. She is concerned that her treatment may affect her job So she goes to blackmentorship.org. She finds Curtis. Curtis informs her on the steps that's needed to actually make a successful transition to the advertising field. She also finds Cheryl. Cheryl is a 2-time breast cancer survivor who also runs a company. Cheryl gives Lenora her lessons learned on healing while maintaining your profession. So you may be asking yourself, what's the difference between blackmentorship.org and Facebook and LinkedIn? Some people don't want to mentor. Just because a person is on a social network, that doesn't mean that they want to help you. Most people are on these social networks for their own needs. If you are not in their group, you won't have access to them. They will not let you in their group unless you are working in their field. It costs money to send messages on some social networks. And for high school students or college students, that might be a problem for them. So, what's the next step? I have already received commitments from many black professionals. I am willing to build this website and fund it for an entire year out of my own pocket. However, the first thing I learned in business is that people use what they want, not what they need. So I'm going to need at least 500 people to sign up on blackmentorship.org and say, hey, I'm going to use this website. So put this website link on your Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google Plus feeds. I want to thank Michael Bazin for inspiring me to shut up and get out there and take action, make a change. This is me. It's my contact information. If you have any questions or you have any ideas, please give me a call or email me. Thank you.